My guest tonight in New York, deputy editor for Forbes.com, David Ewalt, joins us, and in San Francisco. He literally just ran across town from Macworld. I wish it was on a Segway, though. Editor-in-chief for Engadget.com, Ryan Block. Ryan, I hear your coverage today took out half of the interweb. Is that true?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Well,
a couple of
congratulations.
data centers here and there.
I was refreshing all morning long, so thank you for the great coverage. David, I want to start with you. Let's talk about it. Apple's biggest announcement, at least in my book, it's the MacBook Air, the world's thinnest notebook. Are you excited? Are you lining up? Have you pre-ordered? What's your take?
Well, I don't think I'm going to buy one, but that said, I know tons of people are, because it's a really sexy notebook. And I think it fits a niche that Apple's missing right now. They haven't had a tiny kind of sub-notebook in a long time, ever since they ditched the 12-inch MacBook. So
sure.
This is an important product for them. It'll sell a lot. And
why is it not a product
really
for
sexy.
you, though, David? Why isn't it for you?
Well, I already have a laptop. If I didn't, I would consider this. Mm-hmm. But it's not the sort of thing that's like so revolutionary that I'm going to be like, all right, I have to ditch it and get a new one. It's not that different.
Ryan, what do you think?
There are a lot of trade-offs, too.
Did you get your hands on it this morning, Ryan? Did you actually get to use it?
I did, and it's really, really tiny. It's just completely sexy. I mean, it is really, really beautiful. It's something to behold. I've never seen a laptop quite like this before. Maybe a little bit of a reminiscence of the Sony Vaio X505 from a couple of years back. But there are just so many trade-offs. I mean, there's no 3G. You get one USB port, no audio input. Your video out options are limited. You can't connect it to a 30-inch monitor, for example. Mm-hmm. No user-replaceable battery. I mean, there's just all these things that you have to put up with in order to get one of these things. And are those
sacrifices too much for you, Ryan?
It's hard to say. I mean, I can't imagine making this like my primary laptop.
Right.
It's going to be amazing for road warriors, but who wants to have two different laptops for two different things? I mean, you want it to do everything or nothing.
All right. Well, another major point that Steve Mades was talking about the iPhone. Apparently 4 million iPhones sold so far, along with today's newest update, which includes this quasi-GPS functionality, which is kind of neat. David, were you hoping for news about like 3G or an increase in the phone's memory? Were there announcements that you wanted to be made but weren't?
Yeah, as an iPhone owner, I was hoping that they would fix some of the broken things that shipped with the phone in the first place. Mm-hmm. It never should have. And they sort of addressed that. Like now you can send SMS messages to multiple people, but like you still can't send multimedia messages. I can't understand why there's a phone that ships in 2007 where you can't send pictures with your phone. So I'm disappointed that they didn't fix all the things that were broken. But like I didn't really expect the 3G phone to be announced, or the memory bump wasn't a big deal.
Ryan, do you think Apple's doing enough to actually keep the iPhone competitive at this point with these slight little feature upgrades?
Well, people have really, really high expectations for the iPhone, and I think that this kind of projects onto today's keynote address. I mean, people expected the world of what was going to be announced, but most of the people who follow this stuff really closely know that Apple was never going to be able to top the iPhone from last year unless they announced the new one. Mm-hmm. So, to go back to that, I mean, the iPhone has had more upgrades, more features added to it than any other smartphone platform out there in the last year. I mean, if you look at the last 6 months of the iPhone, they've added so much new stuff. iTunes, Wi-Fi store, plenty of fixes, plenty of bugs, new updates like every month and a half. You look at Windows Mobile, Symbian, Palm, none of these guys have done anything significant with their operating systems in a year or more.
At least they work with enterprise email and can send multimedia messages, though. I mean, I have to agree with David on that one. As an owner, I'm waiting for those announcements. I didn't get them. But now, if I had an Apple TV, I might have been very psyched to see some of the presentation slideshow today. Jobs admitted today that there were a few mistakes made with the initial Apple TV. Nevertheless, they've sold almost 1 million of them, and they're releasing a major software update now. David, do you think this new Apple TV, is it going to be more enticing for consumers?
Yeah, I thought the first Apple TV was a dud, but this one fixes a lot of the mistakes. It used to just be a box to stream your iTunes library to your TV, but now it's like a genuine media box. You put this thing on your TV, you can download movies instantly from the internet, you can watch them as soon as you press the button. I mean, there's a lot more you can do with this thing, and I think it's a lot more useful.
Ryan, what's your take on the new Apple TV?
It's brilliant marketing. I mean, first of all, it's not a new Apple TV, it's just a software update. Right. So everybody feels like they just got a new Apple TV. Oh yeah, huge changes, no question about that. But everybody feels like they just got a brand new piece of hardware when they didn't. So that's, I mean, Steve Jobs is brilliant for that. Second, he completely played down the impact of the device in the market. I mean, this was planned since day one. Make no mistake about it. And we've all known for months that they were going to be adding downloads and rentals directly from the device. And it was really just about them getting the studios in place. So, they finally did this. It was all part of their plan. They made it sound like, they're the underdog and they're having such a hard time in the market. And then they come back and they give you this brand new thing and it does all this great new stuff and it's all free. And, it's brilliant marketing.
Right. And David, what do you think about this? They come out, they announce they got pretty much every studio on board. It's going to cost anywhere from $2.99 to $4.99 to rent a movie for a day. Are you excited for this new policy, this new plan?
Yeah, I think it's a good plan. I think it's really cool to see that we're kind of actually getting this future we were always promised of, like, watch any movie on demand anytime you want, and it's a cool product. I'm not sure about the subscription model. I would rather do like Netflix's thing and subscribe for a month and watch whatever movie I want, unlimited downloads. But you know what? I mean, people bought into the iTunes model where they're buying songs for 99 cents as opposed to going to Napster where they can get unlimited downloads. So I think it's going to work.
I wonder what will happen if someone's on a road trip, though, and the movie they just bought expires after their plane flight because it took too long or something like that. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Ryan, I want to give you the final word, though. Personally, what announcement had you the most excited?
Well, I mean, obviously the MacBook Air was just phenomenal. It's a great-looking product. It's not for everybody, but I don't think it's intended to be. I'm really excited to take a look at that one closer. Everything they announced today was pretty decent. So, even though the investors didn't really, they weren't too into it, I give them a, thumbs mostly up.
Good to hear. Many thanks to David and Ryan for joining us. Thank you guys so much for keeping us in the loop. Oh, and actually, one more thing. Apple doesn't have the corner marketed on stylish but pricey around here. That's right. We have Olivia Munn.
Thanks.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.